New York goes up against the Baltimore Orioles. It's the MLB on 2K Sports.
You're looking at an excited, packed house here to cheer the Orioles on. Baltimore Orioles eager to please with a home crowd on hand for this one. I'm Gary Thorne, Steve Phillips, John Kruk with me, Major League Baseball, 2K Sports. Starting on the mound, Brian Mattis. And Steve, as we focus on these Met hitters, how does he see them?
Well, Brian Mattis is not rattled easily. He's shown the ability to come back from getting knocked around at times to get himself back on track a little bit. He has to throw his fastball for strikes, though, to make that changeup effective.
Right now we've got a moment to look at the lineup for the Mets. John, who do we keep an eye on?
Well, one of the big factors in the middle of the lineup is Ike Davis, a guy that came up and showed unbelievable power potential. Like to see him be more consistent with as far as batting average go, but he's a guy that's going to give you everything. He'll jump over the rails and try to catch balls in the stands if he has to.
And here's Jose Reyes. He's the leadoff man. Changeup just misses. 1-0. 423 career average off Baltimore. The 1-0 now. There's contact. He drove it well. This one to Jones. And he grabs it in his tracks. Now we'll take a quick look at the Orioles and how they are positionally on the diamond. John, keeping an eye on anyone?
Well, a guy that can go equally as well to his left and right is Nick Markakis, and he has no fear when he's approaching the wall. Not afraid to run in the wall and take one for the team to try to record an out and help his pitching staff.
So with one away, Angel Pagan up at the plate.
Well, Brian Matus is a guy who's trying to find his way in the big leagues. He had flashes of greatness, but he also had streaks where he wasn't very good. But that's what you get with young players. Stick with him, though. He has a chance to be a good one.
The 0-0 delivery, a fastball taken for a strike. And for Brian Mattis, the learning curve now, the Orioles hope, has come to a peak, and now he will start delivering the W's that he's got the stuff to do.
Well, once Buck Showalter came in, he really turned himself around. He became much more aggressive in the zone. They challenged him, and he responded.
The 1-1 on the way. There's a swing and a miss at the fastball. It's 1-2.
Apparently he's looking for something a lot harder than that four-seam fastball. I don't know what else he has because he's way out in front.
The 1-2 on its way. There's a swing and a liner. And that one's going to drop in. That'll be our first hit of the game. And maybe he wanted to waste that pitch. It just didn't get it far enough away or up high.
Well, it was still caught a little too much of the plate, and the batter took advantage of it. Good focus at the plate.
There's one on. Here is Carlos Beltran.
A lot of young players in the Orioles organization getting opportunities at the major league level. There is some talent there. The question is, can they develop and get it done consistently in the big leagues?
He delivers. Just missed with the fastball, 1-0. And for those young players Steve talking about with the Orioles, also made more difficult because they played so many games against the East.
I mean, you're right. You're playing the Yankees, the Rays, and the Red Sox. So much talent in that division. But there are times when you see flashes of brilliance, both with position players and with pitchers. The question is, can they be consistent?
In there at the letters, evening the count at 1-1.
Well, in a lost season, really, for Beltran. Only played in 64 games. Here's a guy that when he plays his normal 140, 150 games, puts up monster numbers, just wasn't able to perform in 2010.
Beltran hits it on the ground. To second for one. And they get two. Great double play. No runs, one hit, and no one left on base. And first chance next for the Orioles. And it'll be Mike Pelfrey doing the pitching. He's going to start for New York. And as he gets going against these Baltimore hitters, what do you think we're going to see?
Well, the key for Mike Pelfrey is the development of the slider and the changeup. He's a sinker ball pitcher that he can throw at any time in the count to try to get a ground ball. But to put hitters away, He can't be one-dimensional. He needs the secondary pitches to be effective.
Strike two. Roberts will have to be careful here.
Hit a little extra giddy up on that one as he just blows it right by him.
The pitch from Pelfrey. Foul! Roberts makes contact. That'll be fouled off. You're out. Strike three. Brian Roberts, a swing and a miss turned away.
You've got to have better plate discipline than that. With 2 strikes, you need to be defensive and try to make contact. But when you get a fastball, you need to read whether it's a strike or not.
This is the lineup we'll see for the Orioles. Scouting pick, John. Who are we looking at today?
Well, not many guys could ignite the offense from the middle of the lineup, but Nick Markakis really can. Look, if the first 2 guys don't get on base, he can get on, steal a base, and score on a single. But he can also take you out of the ballpark. I'd like to see him get more consistent with his power numbers. If he does, he's going to be one of the better players we'll see in baseball.
And Pelfrey, he'll miss low with that one.
Well, another year where it seemed like injuries the storyline for the Mets. There was a story in 2009, and injuries a big issue in 2010 as well.
Here's the 1-0, and that catches the outer half for a strike. Well, you just can't take big names out of the lineup like the Mets had with Beltran and Bay and Reyes and expect to win ball games.
Oh, Beltran missed the first part of the season, limped his way through the second half, and then Jason Bay with that concussion. Only 6 home runs for Jason Bay, though. They just did not get the kind of production they were looking for after that big season in Boston the year before.
Settling back in at the plate now. He had to really jump to get out of the way of the last one. Two-one on the way, and that one is hit well. Bay's there, and that retires Markakis. Now it's 2 away. And now we'll take a quick look at the Mets. This is how they line up on the field. John, who's a factor for them?
Well, highlights are what you're going to see when you watch David Wright. He has the ability to make the unbelievable play. Sometimes struggles with the routine play. His throwing has sometimes been a concern, but to me, he's one of the best in the business at his position.
Ball. Taken by Jones, high for a ball. His lifetime average, 261 off the Mets. Pelfrey couldn't find the strike zone that time.
Well, this would be a perfect pitch if it stayed in the zone. This slider just slid right out of the zone, just off the bottom outside corner.
The 2-0. Pitch misses, ball 3. Now Adam Jones. He can afford to take 1 or maybe 2.
Well, this is awful right here. He's falling behind this hitter 3-0. Let's see if he can come back to get him.
A smash towards the hole, and Baltimore their first hit.
Well, anytime you can get a guy on base who can steal bases, it puts so much pressure on the opponent. Let's see if they can get him around to score a run.
So Luke Scott will try and keep it going. Can't get him to chase that one outside. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball just misses, and he falls behind 2-0. Came with a sinker, 2-0, but he missed it, 2-1. Lifetime record, 2 for 9 off Mike Pelfrey. Two-one pitch. Swing sends this one on a line to right center, and that's a base hit. Scott is on.
You have to like the aggressiveness on the bases here. Good piece of hitting, but they're going first to third. You take the extra base. Those are the little things that lead to victory.
Here is Derek Lee with a chance to do some damage. There's a strike from Pelfrey, and it's 0-1.
Look, Gary, 0-1 count. I'm looking for him to come right back with that fastball.
Here's the pitch. Lee hits the ground ball. Base hit through the infield. Runner should score.
It's now he's surrendered 3 straight hits. He's got to bounce back and get this guy. He needs an out.
Mark will get the RBI chance. Now this offense, Steve, it's on the move, and now they're trying to carry this on in the ballgame.
And Gary, you can never underestimate the importance of an early lead. It can allow the pitcher to go right at the hitters and pitch with confidence.
Two men on and 2 men out. Here's the pitch. That's hit foul by Reynolds. Foul! Ball. And Pelfrey's wide that time for a ball. And it doesn't hurt to get that starter to throw a few pitches either.
Well, he's going to need to settle down a little bit here so he can stick around later in the game.
And it goes foul. Foul! The 1-2 pitch. Ball. Ugly pitch. Catcher able to somehow scoop that out. That's hit foul by Reynolds. Strike 3 swung on. Reynolds is gone. Nice way to get things started. Baltimore is out in front, 1-0. A crisp day here at the ball yard. Temperatures might be dropping a bit later on towards the evening. And it's David Wright at the plate. Swung on, line to right field. And it's through. Credit Wright with a base hit. That's going to bring up Jason Bay.
Well, a great job right there by the first hitter in this inning to get on base. And, you know, a lot of big innings are started with that first guy getting on. And you have 1 or 2 big innings in a game, and that can be the difference in the outcome.
A runner on first, no outs. There's a swing and a smash. This one to Jones. That's one away. The runner's tagging from first. The throw, and he's safely aboard second base. Well, they wanted the double play defensively there. They don't get it, and the offense gets the runner moved.
Well, that's why it's a good piece of hitting right there. He'd love to have gotten a base hit to drive in a run, to hit it to the wall, but to at least advance the runner. Nice job.
One on, one out. The pitch. Ground ball by Davis. Picked up by Hardy. And that sets down Davis.
It might have had a shot of getting the runner at third base, but much safer. Make the second out of the inning, get the out at first, and try to retire the next guy.
And on third, 2 outs. Swung on and fouled away. Good patience, Scott Hairston, for a ball and an even count.
One thing we know is he's not going to take a borderline pitch at 1-1. He likes to swing the bat, so I'm not giving him anything too fine and see if I can't get him to hit into an easy out.
Swing and a line drive. And Roberts makes a beautiful catch. Solid inning of pitching for Mattis. He's put in some effective pitching so far. Up next, Orioles. And it's Matt Wieters. He'll lead it off. And Pelfrey, he'll miss low with that one.
Wow, he had some good bite on that one right there, but the hitter wouldn't chase it.
There's a swing and a liner towards the gap in left field. That's a base hit. Wieters on board. He's going to try and test him here. Get to take a look at one here that probably should have been to first base.
Well, he had the burners on coming out of the batter's box and rounding first base. Great aggressiveness on his part. He didn't let up, and he gets in safely.
No indecision when he got to first base.
That's how you get in safely to second.
And it's J.J. Hardy at the plate. Second base occupied. Nobody out yet. The pitch from Pelfrey takes a swing at that fastball. Can't connect. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Leaves that one alone. Hardy shows patience. Evens it up. Lifetime record 1 for 5 off Mike Pelfrey. Now the 1-1 pitch. It's hit foul by Hardy. Foul. Gets in front, stopped it. It's in the dirt. Big swing and a miss on a heater. Strike him out, 1 down.
Very little movement on this pitch at 93 miles per hour, courtesy of K-Cam.
Well, this is a pitch right there that you just have to take a bigger hack at right there. He just swung through it. Batting is all about rhythm, and he appeared to be off right there.
Johnny did. He had the timing of the hitter completely off. And we've got PA batting. Second base runner is Wieters. Sinker just missed. 1-0.
Well, and that'll saw his batting too if he swings at that one.
Pelfrey delivers the 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses badly. He's behind 2-0. And it's fouled away. Here's the delivery. Won't commit on that hard slider. Now 3-1.
Good spot there. Just down a little bit out of the zone. Tried to get him to chase. He wouldn't go for it.
This is in the air. Straight away left. 2 away.
Well, the hitter just out in front of this one, causing him to lift the ball to the outfield. The left fielder makes an easy play. Now, Brian Roberts, a real scrapper. A lot riding on this at bat right here. You see the determination in his face.
Lifetime, he's picked up no hits, 3 at-bats off Pelfrey. Runner on second and 2 outs. First pitch to Roberts. First pitch a sinker in there. 0-1.
You throw the sinker ball to get the ground ball out. He got the called strike right there. If they swing, he's going to get his share of ground balls.
Here's the 0-1 pitch by Pelfrey. Here's a swing and a line drive. And that's a base hit. Roberts on. And Wieters scored.
Well, the hitter makes an adjustment going down on the pitch at the bottom of the strike zone and drives it here.
And you get a run scored if you're in that at-bat. What you want to do is make contact. He did. That pays off. Here's Nick Markakis batting with 2 down. And Steve, the offense continues to produce. They keep building on it.
That was a good piece of hitting right there. He got his pitch, took advantage of it, drove it, and picked up the run.
Markakis steps in. Here's the first pitch. Pelfrey's pitch swung on and missed. 0-1. And you get a feeling, even though it's early in this ball game, that every run in this one is going to matter.
Well, that's why they have to look to keep tacking on runs, try to sustain the lead. When you've got an opportunity like this, you need a big hit.
Pitch on the way. And it's 0-2, and Nick Markakis is going to have to cut that swing down here.
Well, good life on this fastball as he just buries it down and away.
Swing and lined up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Markakis. Roberts heads for third. And now in a key moment of the ball game, here's Adam Jones. Boy, I don't know on that count, Steve. Number one, the fact that he swung's kind of a surprise. I don't know how he hit that where it was.
You're right. On an 0-2 count, you have to protect the plate. Sometimes it's a defensive swing, but sometimes it works out.
Well, if you're going to put together a highlight reel, let's take a look at Adam Jones. I mean, this guy can do everything. Speed, power, hit the ball to all fields. He can climb walls, great throwing arm, can do anything on a baseball field. And I tell you, when you're talking about one of the most talented athletes in baseball, you better start with Adam Jones.
Singleton scored his last time around. And Pelfrey, he'll miss low with that one.
And when he can keep that thing down and away, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Hit sharply down the line. And it's good. The O's should score.
They need to get it out right now. I mean, this offense just has kept the pressure on them. They need to regroup and get an out.
There's an RBI chance for Luke Scott trying to make contact. Just one player picking up after another, Steve. This is a good offensive show going on, and they're climbing the ladder with it.
That last hit puts a little bit more daylight in this lead right now, Gary. They keep tacking on early.
Well, they've made a decision here. They're going to issue the free pass.
Now, the fans don't like to see this. They pay good money to come out to the ballpark. They want to see these battles, this hitter against this pitcher. Maybe next time.
And now we're going to watch Derek Lee.
Well, it's about time. I mean, I don't know what they weren't seeing from the dugout. They should have gotten out of this game a lot earlier.
And he'll be looking to pad the lead a bit here.
When you get these kinds of opportunities, you have to capitalize on it and swing the bat.
And the pitcher's really got to bear down now. Singled home a run in his last at bat. Two outs, bases loaded. Now Lee gets set. Ground ball to Davis. And Markakis scores. And Jones comes across to score. Refuel, reload, keep on going. This offense right now is on fire. Get to take a look at one here that probably should have ended at first base.
Well, he had the burners on coming out of the batter's box and rounding first base. Great aggressiveness on his part. He didn't let up, and he gets in safely.
No indecision when he got to first base.
That's how you get in safely to second.
And Mark Reynolds will stand in with 2 down. So the direction here, Steve, for this lineup, just stay in charge. Right now they are.
Boy, after that quality at bat, I mean, this offense just landing some serious body blows on this pitcher in this game.
Boy, you see this get started, it only builds confidence in the hitters. Here's the first pitch. Starts him out with a sinker for a strike.
You know, Gary, you're right. It builds confidence in the hitters, but it also builds confidence in today's pitcher because he knows he doesn't have to be perfect now. He can pound the strike zone with strikes and be much more aggressive.
To deep right center, and it's going to be Beltran. And that's going to do it in this half inning. Big offensive inning, 5 base hits and 4 runs. The Orioles riding a 5-run lead. Folks here enjoying an afternoon of baseball. Nice day so far, just a few clouds. And in the batter's box, it's Tolle. The fastball is in there. It's 0-1. The pitch. Mattis has got it in his favor now with the 0-2 count.
Well, he doesn't like to mess around. You get 0-2 on him, he's coming at you with the fastball.
Fastball. Whoa. There's a wake-up call.
Well, pitchers like to throw in off the plate. If it's not a strike, then you want to send a message to the hitter to back up. It allows you to open up the outer third of the plate now.
Now Wieters positions himself. Breaking ball misses for a 2-2.
Well, Gary, he's aggressive on the 2-2 count, so if he's going to go down, he's going down swinging. Let's see if the pitcher can hit his spot.
Slider just about had him. 3-2 count.
When you throw a breaking ball like this, you want to start it on the corner and break it off the zone, trying to get the hitter to chase. The hitter didn't take the bait here.
Here's the payoff pitch. And that puts the leadoff man on. Ball 4.
That's not how he wanted to start this inning, Gary. He's going to be pitching a world of trouble if he can't find his control.
Well, you just saw a great deal of plate discipline right there on the hitter. Maybe a little fatigue on the pitcher's part. They're not used to throwing that many pitches in one at bat, but the hitter wins it and gets that base on balls.
Runner on first base, nobody out. First pitch, a changeup outside, 1-0. The career numbers for him, 371 off Baltimore. Pauses, and now the 1-0. That one hit well. Markakis is there. That's 1 down. Runner on first now, Jose Reyes. He flew out his last time up. He deals. Reyes hits this one down. And that's a base hit. Reyes now on board. Good offensive chance here.
Well, anytime you throw a pitch at eye level, you don't expect the hitter to be able to get his bat on it. Most of the time as a hitter, you don't even want to swing at that pitch. How he got his bat on it, I have no idea. Great piece of hitting.
Runners on first and second with 1 out. Here's the pitch to Pagan. Swings, lines this one back up the middle, and he gets it down. He's 2 for 2 now. And he's in there.
That's textbook base running right there. As he's approaching second base, he picks up the third base coach, gets the sign to keep on coming, and now they've got runners at the corners.
One down. Here's Carlos Beltran. Progress, they're happy to see it, but they've got to have some major production if they're going to get back into this.
Well, that was a nice at-bat we just saw there, Gary. You don't have to get them all back at once. He stayed within himself. Just get a little bit at a time, and it can get you right back in the game.
It's the baseball adage called chipping away, and that's what they're doing right here. That's off the plate away, 1-0.
Well, just like the other team wants to tack on runs and add to their lead, you want to chip away at it, as you say. And when you do that, it gets you close, and it changes the whole aggressiveness of your club.
Ready with a 1-0. And that's swung on and hit. And Jones, and that one gets through. Beltran knocks in a run.
Well, now after giving up 3 straight hits, the manager has to start thinking about getting somebody up in the pen.
David Wright's batting with 2 runners on.
Well, if you can get a start like this every time out from your starting pitcher, you're going to take it. He kept you in the ball game, pitched pretty well, and now turns it over to the bullpen.
Offensively, the opportunity to pull it a little bit closer, and right now that offense looks as though they've got the ability to do that. Right, gets set. Here's the first pitch. First pitch is a changeup low, 1-0.
And just when you thought that David Wright was having a struggling year, another 100 RBI season, the guy does know how to drive in runs, but he needs some help with that team if he's going to get them to the postseason.
The 1-0 now. The grounder to Reynolds. And there's one. And that's 2. A double play.
Well, it's been a great one here today, Gary. That's all because of the pitching. Outstanding pitching, really leading them to victory.
Now it's time to present our player of the game, Derek Lee. He showed up today with the bat ready to go.
Well, you know, Gary, everyone thinks that the home run's the only way to drive in runs, but not in this game today. This guy, every time he had runners in scoring position, he delivered for his team, and he cashed in when he got the chance in this one.
And, Steve, that ought to send these folks home happy.
Oh, no question about it. They get the win in a close game, a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, and ready for the next one.
Thanks for being with us today. We hope you've enjoyed 2K Sports Major League Baseball. We wrap it up. I'm Gary Thorne with John Kruk, Steve Phillips, and our 2K Sports crew. We'll see you soon.